History Group. From our early meetings, the committee has had a strong desire to commemorate Anzac Day in 2015. We wanted to find out about the men listed on our World War I memorial, restore the neglected memorial and make it a beautiful and significant landmark between the townships of Lenswood and Forest Range. It wasn't long until our little project began to snowball into what we have shared with you all today. Initially, our committee investigated and applied for various grants available for Anzac Day. We were successful and received 2 grants. The first grant we received was from the Federal Anzac Centenary Local Grants Program. The second grant came from the State Anzac Day Commemoration Fund. Our committee was also working closely with the Adelaide Hills Council and councillors whom were fully supportive in our project. They funded the removal of the massive radiata pines that overshadowed and hid our neglected monument. The next stage involved purchasing and installing a white picket fence around the memorial, replicating the original fence that we have seen in photos from the 1930s. Landscaping and stonework was to follow, ready for our Anzac Day service in 2015. The committee was involved in liaising with numerous bodies from the Lobethal RSL, the Australian Defence Force to the local Lenswood Primary School to put together outdoor service and display for today. As I mentioned, the primary school also became involved by the older children researching the 15 soldiers and making posters that we proudly display with our own. This was an important inclusion, as many of those 15 soldiers listed on our memorial were students at this very school. On top of this, a small group were researching, compiling information, locating and talking to relatives and putting together a story of the 15 soldiers for our proposed booklet. As you can see, we discovered a lot more than we expected. On behalf of our committee, I have a lot of people to thank for successfully making this project happen. I would like to acknowledge and thank the Federal Anzac Centenary Local Grants Program and the State Anzac Day Commemoration Fund, MP Jamie Briggs's office, the Adelaide Hills Council and councillors, Lobethal RSL, Padre Barry Fox and Kingsley Paul, the 16th Air Land Regiment and Sergeant Peter Smith, Lenswood Primary School and the Lenswood CFS. To a large group of people that assisted in making today happen, like making Anzac biscuits, cooking and serving at the barbecue, driving buses, reading drafts, compiling relatives' contact details, taking photos, to knitting poppies. You know who you are. We are extremely thankful for your contribution to our day. Thank you. Finally, several people from our committee have put their heart and soul into this project. They have drove it from the very beginning and should be extremely proud of what they have achieved for this community and the men and their families with their names carved into our memorial. Thank you. As a small history group, we are proud of what we have achieved. It was way beyond our expectations. But most importantly, we have remembered and honoured our local lads that lost their lives in the Great War. Thank you. Now, I'm going to have Sergeant Peter Smith come up on stage and present a little talk on Gallipoli. He's an expert in the field. So, thank you for everyone attending this lovely event.
Thank you everyone and welcome for showing up to this enormous day, being the 100th anniversary of the landings at Gallipoli, that obviously means so much to someone like me as an actual serving member of the Australian Defence Force. I'd like everyone to put their hands together for the actual committee who have done such a wonderful job in actually putting on such a fabulous service this morning. As Evelyn stated, my name's Sergeant Pete Smith. and I work with the 16th Air Land Regiment at Woodside Barracks, just over a few k's from here. Our unit pretty much works with ground-based air defence systems, and we provide two major assets to the Army, the first one being surface-to-air weapons systems, which we haven't used in a long time, and I certainly hope we don't have to use again. And we do provide now a fairly major role over in the Middle East area of operations with our actual sense of warrant assets. And as it stands now, it looks as if probably in the near future, our unit may be deploying over there again soon. So hoping to get a bit of an actual trip out of that to go and serve. Some years back, I was fortunate enough to receive a scholarship from the then Chief of the Army, Lieutenant General Peter Gillespie, and with that actual scholarship, I was very, very fortunate enough to actually be sent over to Gallipoli in 2011 and actually take part in the dawn service at Anzac Cove. As a small contingent, we actually went over there some weeks earlier, and we're very, very lucky to have gained access to a lot of the areas where our actual soldiers fought. And the different scale of the actual landscape where these guys had to fight is something that will definitely leave a very, very lasting effect on me for sure. At the actual time, I was posted to the 1st Recruit Training Battalion in Kapuka, which some of you don't know is just outside the little township, or actually it's a fairly large city actually, of Wagga Wagga. And I was posted there as a recruit instructor. So pretty much I was the angry man that used to yell at them from early in the morning until the time they went to bed at night. And my goal, pretty much, to actually go over to Gallipoli was to learn as much as I could about all the actual heroes of our actual past, and to go back and share this knowledge with all of our future serving soldiers. So basically, I was going to do a bit of a talk on encouraging you all to try and do as much research as you can to not only your own family members, but to any of our fallen soldiers, or actually previously serving soldiers. But having actually said that, looking around at the amount of work that everyone's done here with with the wonderful research about all of the actual local heroes around here, I don't think there's any need for me to actually say that. The work that's been done here, and all the information around the room of the actual fallen soldiers, is a real inspiration, and it's something that I'm going to go back to my unit and actually talk a lot about. As I said, I did spend quite a few weeks over in Gallipoli, and I guess my area of expertise was the Battle of Lone Pine. The Battle of Lone Pine itself was actually what was known as an actual feint. So it wasn't the real a spearhead that was to take place over those few days, and the action started around the 6th of August, but that was kind of a diversionary tactic for the more important battles are actually taking place further up the cliffs there, and that was pretty much done by the 8th, 9th and 10th Light Horse Regiments. The 9th Light Horse Regiment, which was actually raised here in SA. Those 3 Light Horse Regiments were absolutely decimated on that day. The very sad thing, the thing that really sticks in my memory about that, is that these regiments were ordered to charge with their bayonets fixed, however, their weapons were at the unload. Okay, so they were pretty much led like lambs to the absolute slaughter. And the stories that I've heard about the Battle of the Neck, honestly, would just make you cry. So yeah, the Battle of Lone Pine was really a diversionary tactic for these other attacks. The Battle of Lone Pine itself actually went on to last for almost five days, and was an absolute slaughter in itself. Over those five days, Australians lost, either killed or wounded in battle, over 2,200 men. So that is, if you think about all of us here today, I mean that's a lot of sort of people that were actually charging, and we ended up either actually killed or actually wounded in that action. The sadder thing, apart from that, was on the actual Turkish side, and it was actually confirmed that there was somewhere between 5,000 to 6,000 Turkish soldiers killed over those five days. So an enormous amount of lives lost. You've all probably seen on Sunday night Corporal Ben Robert Smith, VC, has been doing some absolutely fantastic specials on the 10 VCs that were actually won over the whole Gallipoli campaign. 7 of those VCs actually being awarded during the actual Battle of Lone Pine. And one that really sticks out for me is the story of actual Captain Alfred Shout. And I've got a bit of a spiel on him. On the 9th of August, the Turks renewed their attack and were successful in recapturing some of the lost trenches. In response, Shout and another captain, Cecil Sayce, gathered 3 men to carry sandbags to construct trench barricades and charge down